All right, so are you ready to like really get into Guardians of the Galaxy?
You mean the 2014 movie?
Yeah,
The one that kind of came out of nowhere and like blew everyone away.
exactly. I mean, we've got like a ton of reviews and background from Wikipedia to go through,
Okay.
but this isn't just about like, listing facts.
Right.
It's about understanding what made this film so like, a phenomenon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why did this band of total misfits from a comic that most people had never even heard of
Hmm.
resonate so strongly with audiences?
It really is fascinating.
Right.
Like you said before the movie came out, Guardians of the Galaxy was pretty much unheard of
Yeah.
outside of, like those diehard comic book fans.
Yeah.
Even Kevin Feige, the big guy at Marvel Studios,
Yeah.
Yeah. He even said that the comic team had to be kind of like revamped to make them, to make them fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He actually used the word fun.
Yeah, fun was his word.
Wow. It's almost like Marvel was hiding a secret weapon or something. Yeah.
And get this, Dan Abnett, the guy who actually like revamped the Guardians in the comics,
Okay.
he said back then the idea of a Guardians movie would have been laughable.
Really?
Like he never thought it would happen.
That's wild.
I know. It's crazy to think about it now.
It really shows you how Marvel is so good at like,
Yeah.
finding these unexpected things and turning them into something huge.
It's true.
They took this group that nobody knew about and
Yeah.
boom, global sensation.
But it's how they did it. You know,
Absolutely.
it's not your typical like superhero story,
Yeah.
the good guys in capes saving the day.
No, this is like way more than that.
Oh, yeah. This is like a space opera.
It's a comedy.
It's a love letter to
Yeah.
like 70s and 80s pop culture.
Yeah.
I mean, who puts hooked on a feeling in a superhero movie?
That's so true.
It's brilliant.
It's pure genius.
Right.
Director James Gunn, like he had this vision,
This crazy idea to bring all this vibrant color and humor and like this retro vibe to this genre,
Yeah.
It's like he took the best parts of those old sci-fi comics
Yeah.
and like mixed them with this amazing soundtrack.
With the soundtrack,
Speaking of which,
the music.
we have to talk about the characters.
Oh, the characters.
They are the heart of the movie.
This team is so wonderfully weird.
Yeah.
You've got Peter Quill, a.k.a. Star-Lord,
Okay.
the half-human, half-alien, raised by space pirates.
I mean, come on. What? That backstory alone is incredible.
I know.
And Chris Pratt, he's perfect as Star-Lord.
He's so good.
He's got that like Han Solo meets Marty McFly vibe.
Yeah, he really does.
He brings this swagger and this humor, but also like a little bit of vulnerability too.
Totally.
And then you have Gamora,
Yes, Gamora.
the deadly assassin,
Uh-huh.
with a heart of gold.
Literally.
She's a green-skinned alien trying to escape her past.
Yeah.
Such a cool character.
And played by Zoe Saldana.
Somewhat.
I mean, she's basically sci-fi royalty at this point.
She's been in everything.
I know.
Avatar, Star Trek.
She's amazing.
But it's not just them.
It's not.
No. You've got Drax the Destroyer,
Drax.
this huge warrior seeking revenge.
Yeah.
But he also has these really funny moments.
Oh, yeah.
Dave Bautista is so good as Drax.
He is.
He's got that intensity, but he's also hilarious.
Yeah, he is.
Especially with his, his literal way of understanding things.
Oh, yeah, like he doesn't get metaphors.
Right.
It's so funny.
Okay, now we have to talk about the duo that steals every scene.
Whoa.
Rocket and Groot.
Rocket and Groot.
The best.
Okay, so Rocket,
Yeah.
a genetically modified raccoon with a love for explosives and sarcasm,
Right.
voiced by Bradley Cooper.
I mean,
Yeah.
that casting is perfect.
I know.
And then you have Groot,
Groot.
this giant tree-like creature
Mm-hmm.
who can only say 3 words.
I am Groot.
Oh. But somehow,
What?
Vin Diesel makes those 3 words so emotional.
He does.
He actually recorded Groot's lines in like a bunch of different languages.
Really?
Yeah. Talk about dedication.
That's incredible.
I know.
So this cast is phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
But there's also a lot happening behind the scenes that adds to, like, the movie's magic.
Okay, like what?
Well, they used a ton of practical effects.
Really?
Yeah.
For a movie with this much CGI, that's kind of surprising. That's really cool.
It is.
In fact, James Gunn's brother, Sean Gunn,
Okay.
he plays Kraglin in the movie,
Uh-huh.
but he also was the stand-in for Rocket during filming.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
Like acting with a guy in a green suit pretending to be a raccoon?
I know.
That's wild.
And speaking of wild,
What?
remember Howard the Duck in the post-credit scene?
Oh, yeah? That was so random.
I know. It was a last-minute addition.
Really?
Yeah, James Gunn just threw it in there for fun.
That's hilarious.
Apparently he's a big Howard the Duck fan.
No way.
Yeah.
And who could forget Baby Groot dancing to I Want You Back before the credits?
Oh, that scene is iconic.
I know.
That was also a last-minute decision.
What?
Yeah, it wasn't in the original script.
No, but the test audiences loved it so much. Oh. So Gunn put it in.
So speaking of test audiences,
Yeah.
what was the overall reaction to the film?
Okay.
Like, this was a big risk for Marvel, right?
Oh, huge risk.
Yeah,
But it paid off big time.
it did.
Oh, yeah. The critics and fans, they loved it.
They did?
Uh-huh. Everybody was charmed by the humor and the action.
The action is really good.
And also, like, the surprisingly emotional moments.
I know. I wasn't expecting to get all teary-eyed watching a raccoon and a talking tree become best friends.
I know. But beyond, like, the emotional core,
Yeah.
the movie did something really special.
What's that?
It took all these different things, the humor, the sci-fi, the music,
Uh-huh.
the heartwarming moments, and, like, blended them perfectly into this unique thing.
It really is a special film.
And it did really well at the box office, too.
It did.
Oh, yeah. It broke all kinds of records for August. Wow.
And it was the highest-grossing superhero movie of 2014.
That's incredible.
I know.
Okay, so we've got this unknown comic book team.
Right.
A director with this really unique vision.
Uh-huh.
A cast of misfits.
Mm.
And an amazing soundtrack.
Yeah.
What else went into making this unlikely hit?
Well, one thing that people don't always talk about is like the world building.
The world building.
Yeah, Guardians. It doesn't just take place in space.
Okay.
It takes place in this whole universe.
Wow.
With all these different planets and cultures.
That's true.
I mean, they actually filmed on 5 different planets in the movie.
5 planets.
5 planets.
Wow. I knew the scope felt huge, but that's incredible.
It was a massive undertaking.
It must have been.
But they didn't just rely on CGI to create all these alien worlds.
Okay.
They built these massive sets.
Really?
Yeah, like there's this one prison
Uh-huh.
that's made from like 350,000 pounds of steel.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That's
And it's that commitment to like practical effects
Yeah.
that gives the film this sense of like tangible reality.
Okay.
Even when you're looking at something totally bizarre.
Like what?
Like nowhere.
Well, back up a second.
Mm.
Nowhere.
Yeah, nowhere.
What is that?
It's one of the planets.
Okay.
Well, I guess it's more like a location.
Okay.
It's this mining colony that's built inside the severed head of a celestial. Celestial.
Okay.
These ancient giant beings
Uh-huh.
that are like older than almost everything in the universe.
Okay. That is definitely not something you see every day,
Yeah.
even in a superhero movie.
Nope,
But you mentioned 5 planets.
I did.
What were the others?
Okay, so we start on Mirag,
Mirag.
this desolate ancient planet.
Okay.
This is where Peter Quill steals that mysterious orb.
Oh, yeah. At the beginning.
Yeah, you remember that opening scene?
Yes.
It's totally had that like Indiana Jones vibe.
Yes. It did.
James Gunn loves those classic adventure films. And you can see that influence all over Guardians.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm. Okay, so from Mirag,
Uh-huh.
we go to Xandar,
Thunder.
the capital of the Nova Empire.
What's that like?
It's this amazing futuristic city
Right.
full of vibrant colors and all these different alien species.
It sounds cool.
Did you know they actually based the look of Xandar on the gardens by the bay in Singapore?
I did. I read that the filmmakers used real-world locations as inspiration to make these alien worlds feel more grounded.
That's so smart.
It is.
It's like a clever way to make something fantastical feel relatable.
Exactly.
Okay, and then there's the Kiln,
The Kelm.
the high-security space prison where our heroes first meet.
Okay.
It's this really gritty, intense setting
Huh.
full of dangerous criminals, and you can really feel the danger.
I like that whole sequence in the kiln.
Me too.
It's where the Guardians really start to, like, bond. You
Yeah.
know, they become a team,
Right.
even though they're all still kind of wary of each other. Okay, so we've got Morag-Xandar the Kiln,
Yes.
and the last planet is...
Technically, it's not a planet.
What is it?
It's Ronan the Accuser's warship, the Darkaster.
Oh, yeah.
It's this massive, almost Gothic-looking ship
Okay.
that's like the final battleground for the movie.
So each location has a purpose.
Exactly.
It's not just about moving the plot forward,
Right.
but it's also about revealing things about the characters
Yes.
and the universe they live in.
And the universe. You got it.
It's like each planet is another layer of this incredibly detailed world.
I like that.
that James Gunn created.
Yeah.
Okay, but we can't talk about Guardians without talking about the music.
Oh, the music.
That soundtrack, it's more than just background noise.
Yeah.
It's like a character itself.
You're totally right.
Awesome Mix Vol 1.
It's the best.
It's a perfect blend of 70s and 80s pop hits. And it not only sets the tone, it also helps us understand Peter Quill.
Right.
It's like his connection to Earth, to his childhood, to his mother.
It's so nostalgic.
I know, every song is like a time capsule.
Yeah.
Taking us back to a specific moment in pop culture history.
Totally.
I mean, escaping from space prison while Escape, the Pina Colada song, is playing.
I know.
You can't make that stuff up.
It's perfect.
It is.
And it's not just about nostalgia either.
What do you mean?
The music actually makes the emotional impact of a lot of the scenes even stronger.
Oh, okay.
Think about that final battle when Come and Get Your Love kicks in.
Yeah.
It's pure adrenaline.
It is.
It's like the music gives the action this extra layer of energy and excitement.
I'm curious, how did they even choose the songs for the soundtrack?
Okay, so...
Was it just James Gunn picking his favorites?
It was actually a really careful process.
Okay.
Gunn had this very specific idea. He wanted songs that were popular, but not overplayed.
Okay.
Songs that people would recognize.
Right.
But would still be surprised to hear in a superhero movie.
So he wasn't just trying to create like a greatest hits album.
No.
He was curating like an experience.
Exactly. He wanted the music to feel like it belonged in the story, you know, to like make the emotions of each scene even stronger.
I could see that.
He even had the music playing on set.
Really?
While they were filming.
Wow.
To help the actors get into the right mood.
That's amazing.
I know.
It really shows how much thought and care went into like every part of this film.
Every single detail.
But let's be real.
Okay.
What really makes Guardians of the Galaxy stand out is the humor.
Oh, the humor?
It's a superhero movie that doesn't take itself too seriously.
Totally.
Which is refreshing.
It is.
The comedy is irreverent.
It's self-aware.
Yeah, and it never feels forced.
Never.
It's like they're not afraid to make fun of themselves. And the whole superhero genre.
Exactly.
But what's really cool is that it doesn't sacrifice heart for humor. Like, you can laugh 1 minute and then be totally moved the next.
Right.
Like, I still get teary-eyed when Groot sacrifices himself to save the team. It's that emotional depth combined with the humor, the action, and the amazing visuals.
Yeah.
That makes Guardians of the Galaxy such a special film.
It really is.
So what does all this mean for the superhero genre as a whole? What do you think is the legacy of Guardians?
Well, I think Guardians of the Galaxy proved that audience, they were ready for something different.
Different how?
Something that embraced humor and heart.
Okay.
And a good amount of weirdness.
Yeah, Guardians is definitely weird.
In the best way possible.
It is.
It showed that superhero movies could be more than just origin stories or like world-ending threats.
Yeah.
They could be about these unlikely heroes.
Okay.
Finding family in each other.
Yeah.
About misfits saving the galaxy. With a smile and a killer soundtrack.
I like that.
And I think that's why it connected with so many people.
It makes sense.
It was a breath of fresh air, you know.
Yeah.
A reminder that even in a genre that's full of capes and superpowers, there's always room for something unique and unexpected.
Totally.
But let's go back to Peter Quill for a second.
Okay.
There's one thing that's always bugged me.
What's that?
His Walkman.
His Walkman?
Yeah, he uses it the whole movie to listen to his awesome mix.
Right.
But how is that thing still working?
Oh, that's true.
After all these years.
Yeah, he was abducted as a kid in the 80s.
Yeah, exactly.
And the movie takes place decades later.
It doesn't make sense.
That thing must have some incredible battery life.
I know.
Maybe it's alien technology.
Maybe. Or maybe it's just movie magic.
Could be.
Either way, it works.
It does.
It's part of what makes Peter Quill so unique.
That's true.
Speaking of unique, we haven't even talked about his dad.
Oh, yeah.
We know he's not human, but the movie leaves us hanging.
I know.
Guess that's why we got a sequel.
That's true.
But before we jump ahead, you mentioned some deleted scenes earlier.
I did.
What do you think was left on the cutting room floor? I'm sure they're like full of hilarious moments.
Yeah.
Like those heartwarming scenes that James Gunn is so good at.
Yeah.
Maybe someday we'll get like a director's cut.
Ooh, with all the extra stuff.
Yeah.
The fan can dream right.
Always.
Okay, so we've covered a lot.
We have.
In our deep dive into Guardians of the Galaxy.
A lot of ground.
Yeah, we talked about like the fact that it came from this really obscure comic, this unique mix of genres.
Yeah.
The amazing cast.
So good.
The world building, the killer soundtrack, and of course the humor that just makes this film unforgettable.
Yeah.
But before we wrap things up,
okay,
our expert has a question for you to think about.
All right, so we've seen how Guardians of the Galaxy, it took this pretty much unknown comic book team and turned them into this, like, global phenomenon.
It's true.
Makes you wonder, what other, like, hidden gems are out there in the world of comics, you know?
Yeah.
What other characters or stories could surprise us?
Yeah.
You know, if they got a chance to be on the big screen.
Ooh, that is a great question.
I know, right?
There are so many stories in comic books that haven't been told yet.
So many.
Yeah. So what do you think?
Yeah, what do you think?
What obscure characters or teams deserve their own movie?
Let us know.
Yeah, let us know on social media.
We want to hear your thoughts.
We do.
And of course, if you haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy yet,
what are you waiting for?
Seriously, it's a wild ride.
It is.
A movie that breaks all the rules, blends genres, and reminds us that sometimes the greatest heroes are the ones we least expect.
I like that.
Me too.
It's a film that celebrates the misfits.
Yeah.
The outcasts.
The ones who don't fit in. And in a world where we're always told to, like, be like everyone else, that message is really powerful.
It is.
Guardians of the Galaxy teaches us that it's okay to be different.
Totally.
To, like, embrace the things that make you unique.
Yeah.
And to find your own family.
Even if they're talking raccoon and a walking crate.
Exactly.
I love it.
So there you have it.
Our deep dive into Guardians of the Galaxy.
A movie that defied all expectations. Broke box office records.
And changed superhero movies forever.
We hope you enjoyed this cosmic journey.
As much as we did.
And remember, in the huge world of stories, there's always something new waiting to be discovered.
Something that might just surprise you.
Until next time, keep exploring.
See you next time.